Small update for today. The concrete has set. So this morning our construction crew came over and peeled off all of the wood along the edges. And they also removed the tarp to let the rest of it air off. But I'm gonna try something. It might be a little dangerous, but I'm gonna try going up onto the second floor because I do want to get a closer look at it. The stairs aren't like full stairs yet, it's just an angled slab. So I'm gonna walk up there and see what it looks like. Let's go. They're off today because yesterday it rained pretty heavy in Da Nang, and so a lot of our construction crews actually they're in the outer parts of the city, so the roads that they take to get here were flooded, so they weren't able to come in. So just only one or two guys that live closer to the city were able to come and peel off all that wood. I would say it's pretty messy in my opinion, the stairs. As you can see, it's probably the rain that caused it to look super uneven like this. Some of it's pretty soft, but it's not too bad actually. But I think once they come, they'll probably clean this up and even it out somehow. I'm not sure yet, but they will definitely be covering this up later when they use the red brick to create the steps. So I think when they do that, it'll even out. But as long as the integrity of the concrete is good, then I think it's not too bad that it doesn't look pretty. But to me, I don't know. I think it's okay. I don't know. Our enforcer, he's actually coming over soon, and he's feeling better. He's having a surgery tomorrow. So he said once that's done, he'll be able to come back to work and check things out for us. But until then, his friend will come and validate all of this for us just to make sure it's okay. But I'm gonna try going up this. It's actually really steep. I think it's more than 45 degrees. So I feel like if I start going up, my auntie's gonna worry. But let's see if I can do this. No, I'm nervous. I can't do it. I can't. So instead, I'm gonna go up to my uncle's roof and give a top-down view instead. But we can see a little bit of the inside. That's the hole they patched up for me the other day in the previous vlog. So that one and that one. There's actually a few more small holes, but I will ignore those since they will cover this whole thing up and plaster it so that it's even. Okay, here is a top-down view of the finished concrete. So there is a little bit of puddled water in these two areas. These areas are slightly sloped by about 2 to 3 degrees, one into that corner, and this one is into that corner. That's where the water drains will be. So water drain for the restroom will be here. And then the water drain for the balcony is where those rebar is right there. It's a little wet from the rain, but I think it's okay. I can't tell what the quality of the concrete is. I think once our team comes back, they'll ensure everything is good. But to me, this looks a lot more even and flat compared to the stairs. So I think it's fine. It's super windy up here right now. The neighbors, quick update on their lot. They have cleaned up their lot and they've actually dug out all the dirt that was those piles of dirt that was right here and right there. And it looks like they're going to be putting in those concrete blocks soon along the edges of their land so that they can fill it in after and do another layer of, I think they're supposed to do another layer of concrete also, but I'm not sure. But we did have a discussion with them in terms of timeline of when they're going to be done, and that they've agreed to let us plaster our side of this wall in the next couple days after they finish this portion. It's hard for our team to work on it now since they can't really reach that wall and they're actively working on this. So once they're done, our team will go in, spend 1 to 2 days, to properly plaster and waterproof this side of the wall. They'll just do the first floor for now, and then we'll plaster as we go. So as the second, third, fourth floor go up, we'll go over to the other side and plaster those. Let's get a close-up look. So you can see close up what this looks like. It's just a bit darker over here just because the water from this side is kind of seeping over into here, which is okay. It's been like sprinkling throughout the day and it's been raining over the night. So a little bit of water, I heard, is fine. So I think it's okay. Our team will come back tomorrow to start working again. I think they'll start laying down the red brick for the second floor, which I'm super excited for. I was given a tour of this house that's being built over there. Unfortunately, I didn't film it. Since it's not our house, I didn't want to film the inside in detail and give you and share it since it's not really ours. But from outside, I can kind of explain a little bit. What they're doing is there's a kitchen and a living room on the first floor. The second floor has 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. So this is a bathroom, this is a bedroom, that over there is a bedroom and another bathroom. And then the third floor is the exact same layout as the second floor. And then the top floor, they're going to just do an altar room and the rest of it is balcony space, which I think is really nice. Their final design will look, in the renderings, will look nothing like this. It actually looks super cool. Very interesting design and concept. So I'm very excited to see what the final result of this house would look like. I feel bad, unfortunately, like even though right now they have this really beautiful view, once this house goes up to 4 floors, it essentially just blocks that whole view, which I think is very unfortunate because they do have a really interesting facade to their house. I think now is a good time to talk a little bit about the process, how we started designing the house and how we started building the house and all the steps that it took to get to where we are now. Right now we have already finished the foundation, the first floor, and starting this week they will start building the walls for the second floor. And then probably within a week and a half to 2 weeks they will pour the concrete for the third floor. It really is all dependent on rain. So as long as the weather is good, it's nice and sunny and not too much rain, then they'll be able to move pretty quickly. This is the first set of renderings that our architect had given us. A couple things that were important to us was we absolutely needed to have a bedroom on the first floor. That way my grandparents, when they come and visit or if they decide to move to Vietnam permanently, they don't have to walk up and down the stairs to get to the room, since that is dangerous and my grandparents are older, we didn't want to risk any of that. So here, this was their initial design. We had originally thought, why don't we do a room that we can reuse if they're not here? So we had a, what do you call those beds? A Murphy bed that's tucked into the wall, and we wanted these pocket sliding doors that you can open all the way up. That way we could make use of that entire space. But then after looking at this, the overall layout just didn't look very functional to us. Especially this outer area. They essentially pulled in that house completely along the side to allow for this outyard patio. And that's actually something that's very common with most Vietnamese houses, where every floor has a huge wraparound balcony, which I think for us, our lot is already very small. It makes us essentially lose a lot of space, a lot of foot traffic. So we decided, no, we don't want this style of balcony. We want to change it up a little bit and modify it. So these were the first set of renderings from them. And we actually went back and forth multiple times. And for me too, with David's friend, who is also an architect from the US and Korea, he gave us some feedback in terms of how we could best utilize this space. Since it is an awkward, I would say like pizza shape, he gave us some feedback. So we shared those with the team, and this was almost close to what our final design is. You can actually, let me switch to this one. You can see here, this is their second round of design that they gave back to us, and all of these markings are from me giving some feedback on the layout. And even at this point in time, we still made more changes after. Like I would take these renderings, go into Illustrator, and kind of like visualize what I think I would prefer to have for everything. It took us about 2.5 months before we agreed on the final rendering, the final design, to submit to the city for approval. So when we started this process back in late June, early June, it took about 2 months, September-ish, to get the documents submitted. It took 2 to 3 weeks for the city to approve all of our documents, and then we were able to officially start building in October. This here was the first rendering of the exterior that they had shared with us. And when David and I first saw this, it wasn't our style. I think there are a lot of things here that we weren't sure on in terms of like the design choices. For example, all of the dark exterior, this use of, instead of going floor to the edge for the balconies, they have almost like a half wall that goes up. So it makes the house look a little stumpy. So in modern times now, essentially what I did was I took this image, I put it into ChatGPT, and I asked it to render me something that is a little bit more modern looking. It is making maximum use of the floor to height for the balcony. I wanted larger windows, larger openings, and I wanted the space to feel more open. Like I want a lot of light to be able to get through into our house, and also to soften the color palette a little bit. So this is what ChatGPT gave me. And obviously it's not perfect. There are a lot of things that are wrong with it. For example, like the correct sizing of the walls, the heights of things. Like it definitely isn't accurate, but at least what it was able to do is convey a sense of style that we were both happy with, that David and I kind of liked. So I sent this back to our firm and I said, hey, can you kind of look at this style? This is leaning more towards what we're looking for. I told them I wanted some wood elements into here. And then the final design is what you guys have seen multiple times. This is what we got back from our designer. This is essentially what we're going to be building, and I'm very happy with how this looks. We had asked them also if we can switch these metal railings to be glass railings, but that's something that they are strongly advising us against. They definitely don't want us to do that. I think there are some major concerns with using glass. There's some issues with drainage. That was just something I had just asked them a week ago. I said, how about something like this? And they said, this looks nice, but I don't think it makes sense for your house. So I feel bad sometimes because I feel like I do ask a lot of questions, and I can be a little nitpicky on certain things. So I'm grateful that they are putting up with me and they are willing to work with me and David for all of our requests.
What's up, guys? It's David. I just wanted to give you guys a little bit more context of all the things that Kim said. We went through like 15 drafts. Like, you guys see the final product and it kind of seems like, oh, cool, this is the rendering. But it was a really, really long process. There's also some things culturally, traditionally, the houses like kind of like smaller windows, especially of course for like bathrooms. It's more about like privacy and being cozy. A lot of the houses, you'll even notice like our neighbors, the one that's 2 houses down, their house is like tucked back into the nook. From the west, we would think like, oh, why would you tuck it in the back where there's not a lot of natural light? Why would you want it like in the front? There's a lot of different reasons. One of the reasons is noise. So the further tucked back you are from the street, the less street noise that you're gonna hear. And the second of all, again, it's more about like privacy. It's more about having like a cozy vibe, where in America, we don't really care about that. We just want it to be open, bright, airy, a lot of light. Can you guys hear Kim sneezing up there? Anyways, this is Nala, because we need Nala, part of every vlog. Mew, where are you? Mew Mew. There he is. Hi Mew, you gotta be on the vlog. Alright, the cat and the dog have officially been on the vlog. So starting tomorrow, it's gonna be the biggest challenge that the vlog has ever faced in the history, the 17-day history of the vlog, and that is Kim is going out of town on a business trip, which means that I'm on my own. Kim has been carrying very, very hard, and I'm not gonna lie, I've probably been relying on her a little bit too much, but tomorrow we're gonna be back with a normal vlog. First thing in the morning, I'm gonna wake up and be in a vlogging mindset. There's a lot of things going on with the residency that I wanna update you guys on. It's been really, really exciting. That's gonna be it for this vlog. I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a good night, or morning, or afternoon. Now let's say bye. Now it says bye.